Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you are enjoying a lot your weekend. By the way, guys, we are only 11 subscribers away from the magic number of 1,000. So if you could drop that like and subscribe, that would be highly appreciated. So thank you very much once again for your support. Now, wanted to give a quick update on the market on the crypto side as well, in particular my coins, but also how to look into other projects because I've been having a few questions on do I think this project is good, do I think that project is good, blah blah blah, these kind of things. So I actually had an idea of coming up on with a video that I think it will become clear the standpoint, like where I come from when I'm looking at these projects. Okay. No, but in any case, you remember last week I did mention we should start seeing Bitcoin moving into higher numbers, as we move towards the halving. Well, that actually just happened last week and is continuing to happen, and we are around a little bit above 48,000. 48,000, 49,000 are big numbers because that's where we peaked with the approval of the ETFs. So it would be nice also to clear the psychological barrier of 50,000. Now, a lot of this pump is happening over the weekend. I'm always, as you know, guys, I've been telling you for a long time, I'm always suspicious of weekend pumps. The volume is very thin. A couple of big whales can move the price quite high if they want. And then sometimes over the week, that moves tend to be corrected to some degree following the weekend pumps. Is that going to happen now? No, I don't know. Sorry, not no or yes. I don't know. It's about 50-50 that this gets corrected, and 50% of the times it does not. So I try to avoid making too much predictions on that, but just keep in mind that it's not as clean as a weak pump. Okay, I think that's a fair comment to give. Now, when it comes to the cycle, we were supposed to be above 45,000 as of end of January. We were above 45,000 quite comfortably into the ETFs, but we did close the month at 42, 43,000. What I said at the time was, okay, look, we technically service the 45,000 level, but the month ending was not very clean in the cycle. But if we can start moving above 45,000 rather soon, it's not a big deal. Okay, it's not such a clean cycle, if you will, but it's not a big problem. If we would move quick above 45,000, which we've now done at 48. So look at that 45. We should stay above it. That's the key to really put us on track with the cycle. Ethereum has been somewhat disappointing in the sense that we should start to see some more outperformance. But you see, this is one of the things that I always say. Ethereum is a cycle 3 coin. Cycle 3 curse returns. If you look at any cycle 3 coin, the number 3 cycle is one of the most disappointing in terms of returns. So that's why I tend to prefer cycle 1, maybe cycle 2 coins, but that's about it. Okay. Now, Pulsechain, Pulsex, X, Hydron, and Icosa are all moving higher, not at the same speed. Pulsex seems to be outperforming at the moment, and this is actually quite something that reminds me of how, you see, this is how the markets work. Before Pulsechain came out, if you ask 100 people or 1,000 people which of the coins was going to do better, probably 80% would say Pulsechain. Nobody would say the incentive token. No, few people would say Pulsex, and nobody would look at Icosa, for example. Those are the coins that are outperforming. So this is what happens, when you have the market, too many people having the same opinion, that's not going to work. Now it can work either complete opposite of what you think, or very far away from what you think. So let's say the consensus trade for Bitcoin at the end of this cycle is 150,000. That means that we either undershoot it by quite a lot, maybe at 100K or so, or we overshoot it like by 300K or something. Anybody's guess at this moment. Okay, I have a strategy for any of those prices, so it doesn't really matter. But the point is, I am very certain, and I'll be saying this, that the top will not be 150K. We'll see, but that's just my opinion. It will be either substantially higher than that or substantially lower than that. Now, which one's going to be is anybody's guess on this stage, okay? So Pulsechain, Pulsex, X, Hydra, Icosa keep on doing what they're supposed to do. As I've mentioned, we should be entering an altcoin season in March. We're probably going to have 2 altcoin season bubbles. We'll see if that's going to happen. But usually you have a big altcoin season, a big drop, maybe 50-60% of the move. And then we have one final big bubble. And then when everybody's excited, happy, and they're all becoming, Bill Gates, then there's the big crash of 95-97% on these altcoins, and everybody feels sick to their stomach. And it's going to be very hard to get out on the top or close to the top because, well, that's what euphoria does to you. Throws you off guard. Now, I had a few questions on Hive and Drip, and I was looking into those projects, and I thought, okay, this is going to take me way too much time to really come up with a proper informed answer. You see, during the bear market, and I hope people understand where I'm coming from, okay? During the bear market, I did weeks and weeks and weeks on end of research, okay? After I've done that, I came to the conclusion that, in my opinion, Pulsechain, Pulsex, X, Hydron, and Icosa would be my retirement coins, the ones that would take me to the promised land, if you will, or at least at the highest probability of doing that. But that's me. I mean, that's the value of my research. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it's completely wrong. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Perfectly possible. Okay? Question is, in order for me to feel comfortable that these are not scams, that these have all the ingredients for a great success, takes me weeks in order to come with a really strong opinion on that. So what I thought about doing is giving you an idea of what I look for into a project. Then you apply that to any project you're looking at, and you see if they tick the majority of the boxes. You see, and here is very important, okay? If I feel that something has the potential to go, up a lot, but it's not necessarily the best project, I call it fun coupons, lottery tickets, carnival tickets, play money, you name it. So what I do is I drop, $500, $300 on those. And if they go very well, I'm extremely happy. Like if they go up 100-fold, great. If they go up 1,000-fold, even greater. If it goes to zero, not a big deal. That's how I look at other projects outside the Pulsechain, Pulsex, X, Hydron, Icosa. Okay, so those are my retirement coins. So those have the heaviest bags, and then the others, I have $300 here, $500 there, $200 there, and whatever comes from it, it's great. If I catch one of those that go 100-fold, they will pay off all the rest. If I don't, and it goes to zero, my financial situation is not affected as well. So that's the point. That's how I look at it. Now, particularly with the projects that you asked me. Now, with Drip and Hive. Look, at first sight, didn't see any major issues. But the way that you should look at the project, in my opinion, okay, this is not financial advice, this is how I look at it. You need certain ingredients to make it not work, because you can have a project with none of these ingredients and somehow still works, even if it's only for a short period of time, but that's possible. I mean, think about it. Dogecoin on paper is worse than everything about Bitcoin, yet it outperformed Bitcoin 40-fold the last time. Shiba Inu is worse than Bitcoin on everything, yet Shiba Inu went up 1.4 million-fold in 12 months. This is my point. This is the thing with crypto. You can have garbage projects or terrible projects or projects with less merit than others and still outperform them. So performance doesn't mean, over long periods of time, yes, it's very difficult to have projects that have, basically nothing to stand on their feet. But you can have projects that outperform others which are better for 3, 6, 9 months. Perfectly possible. So, number one, community. Community is the key to any crypto coin. That's the most important part. Do they have a die-hard community? Is the community being around for a long time? Is it enthusiastic about it? Is it, is it basically non-existent? I don't know. That's the number one. Community needs to be very strong. I would say Exicans, Pulsechains, etc. They are the most cultish community you're going to find, which is great. That's what you want. People forget that Bitcoin became as successful as it was because Satoshi was the second coming of Jesus and Bitcoin was God's money 2.0, blah, blah, this kind of stuff, like all these cultish elements, they are all necessary for the projects to thrive. So that's number one. Community is more important than anything else. Then number two is, I would say, are there VCs involved? Are there venture capital firms involved? That basically get, you see, the reason why this is very important is because if there are a lot of them, what happens is they get allocations extremely cheaper than you get them, which means by the time you're up 10x, they are up 100x or 200x, which means you always have this huge sell pressure, not at very high levels, but just, I mean, they are very high levels for the venture capital firms, but not for yourself. So you always have this thing on top of your head of massive sell pressure at the time when you hit 10, 15 fold, because the VCs are up 150, 200 fold, and what they do is they are really there to dump on the community. That's the majority of the reason they are involved in this. Number three, linked to number two, is do you have paid influencers talking about it? Because those influencers typically also get private allocations to talk about certain coins. Like, is this YouTuber coming, like I've done, for example, for Pulsechain and Pulsex? Do they come organically? Nothing to gain. Talking about projects, or all of a sudden they talk about 100 projects, 100 different projects, and then they start pushing this one, boom, 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 for a couple of weeks, and then they forget about it when the price goes down. You see, I talked about Pulsechain, Pulsex with the price is down. I didn't wait for the pumps to start talking about them. I was talking about them at the time that Richard Hart was being targeted by the SEC, like the worst, most bearish, most desperate time about it. So be very careful, because influencers will trick you, because they get paid, they get these private allocations, much like the VCs. So by the time you're up 5x, they are up 50x, and they're dumping on your heads. Number four, is the code audited? Is it a platform that is always down? As it had bugs in the past, like inflation bugs, this kind of stuff. Is the code, to the best of your ability to tell, is the code sound or not? Does it have proper audits? How's been operationally for the past few months? Blah blah. All of this kind of stuff. Then, also very important, are there admin keys in the middle of it? Usually, when there are admin keys on stuff, I don't like it. Okay. Because, well, it kind of defeats a little bit the purpose of crypto. Now, when it comes to bridges, unfortunately, nowadays, you still, most of the cases need admin keys, so that's a bit different. What I'm talking about is actually the core of the project. Does it have admin keys, yes or no? Are all the coins out? That another point would be, are all the coins out, or they are coming out on a vesting period, meaning every X months, new coins get released? I don't know. Is the team selling coins? Are the developers selling coins? Are the origin addresses dumping coins on their following consistently? These kind of questions takes a little bit of on-chain analysis to figure out, but this is very important, because that will tell you, see, for example, Richard Hart never sold 1x on market, for example, and the project is out since 2019, right? So that's the point. Those kind of things are very important. Then, let's say if I want to drop a few $100 into a potential lottery play, I would look, is this project down 90, 95%? If yes, I would drop it. I like to see things 90, 95% off on sale. So even if I'm wrong, I mean, it's a matter of risk reward kind of stuff, right? And if you don't feel very comfortable with the project, so let's say that you're lucky and you catch like a 3x, maybe consider taking out your principal and you just leave it there, see what happens over the bull market. Maybe someone for some reason finds it extremely exciting and you do very well. But you see, these features are the things that I look for. So that's the reason why I like Pulsechain and Pulsex so much, is that there's no VCs, there's no paid content creators, it's all organic. X conferences, Pulsechain conferences are all created by the community without Richard Hart telling anybody. The total number of coins is out. It's never going to be any more. They're just getting burnt all the time. The code has been audited 500 times. It's always operational, never goes down. Good, excellent founder on the coins that I mentioned. No selling on the market by the team or by the developers or by whatever. What else? Yeah, I mean, I would say a great community, completely cultish community. So these are the ingredients that I look for when I'm establishing my positions. But so, I mean, I hope that this helps. Like, for example, when you trying to figure out if a project is good or bad, try to go through all of these things. Maybe it doesn't have all of them. Maybe it has, 80% of them, 75% of them. And then it's up to you to consider, okay, I feel comfortable with the risk, I'm going in, or no, I don't feel comfortable with this risk, I'm not going in, I'm going to try to find something else. That is up to you to decide. I cannot tell you what to do. I tell you, I'm just broadcasting my journey. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Pulsechain, Pulsex, Hydron, Icosa, X go all down, and I lose all my money. Who knows? How can I tell? I hope not. I think I've gathered the ingredients to make it very likely that it's going to go well to my side. But if you come to crypto for guaranteed income and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, good luck with that. There's nothing guaranteed in life, much less crypto. But that's the opportunity. If it was guaranteed, if everybody knew about it, if it was very easy, then the opportunity would be gone. There's going to be a time where crypto doesn't offer that many returns left, because the uncertainties are now all solved, and the certainties are all that we have left. But when it's certain, it's less money in it. Just how life works. I hope that this helps, guys. You drop that comment. If you want me to, to further develop a few of these items. But in any case, guys, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget, push that like and subscribe. We're getting very close to the 1,000 mark. So thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one.